It's never too late to do whatever is right. The Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has approved the immediate disbursement of 479 million naira for the payment of 2023 West African examination fees for students enrolled in public schools in the state. Now, in total, 15,033 students will benefit from the payment, which is in realization of the administration's recent pledge to provide free education from primary to secondary level in public schools. That's 15,000 students will benefit from this 497 million naira for the West African Examination Council examination fees.
You know, I've always been a canvasser of palliatives that are meaningful. And this is one of them, if you ask me. That's why repeatedly, after the issue of palliative came up here, I say we must look for how to affect the society, not just to put a token in the pockets of a few civil servants. I'm sure if you ask in Kogi State today how parents feel about this, their joy will know no bound. Because you can imagine taking this off. If the government is going to do a complete job, let it now even go ahead, pay for JAMB and maybe NECO. You see the mood of the society, not just for a few. Now, because this cuts across virtually everybody, whether you're a civil servant or you're a private sector person. I'm not saying we parents should put all our burden of educating our children on the government. Because even when we had free education in the Southwest in those days, parents still paid for examinations, external ones. What government did at that point was provide tables and chairs, provide books, and then you didn't pay any fee. But for your external exams, you paid. These are the kind of palliatives states should use the 2 billion naira that they have to do. It's not just to put it in the pocket of a few civil servants and think that will be all. No, I don't think that resonates with me. States should be looking for very positive and pragmatic ways of dealing with the issue of fuel subsidy removal. And in a way, also, for those who think it is in the heat of the election coming in Kogi State, I think it's fine, but it's a positive signal because there are two other states where this has not been done, and elections are holding this weekend. So whether it is politics or not, this is a good move, complete good move, if you ask me.
See here, for these 15,000 students and government paying their WAEC fee, do you see that as more impactful?
Yes, to me, it's it is. The fact is that the growing economic problem facing Nigerians now is making it very, very difficult for some parents, I would even say not some, most parents, to be able to afford sending their students to school, feeding them, and even pay examination fees. So, good enough, it is always the children of the less privileged that go to public schools in Nigeria. That should be established. The so-called big men, bourgeois, and they don't even need to, even within our own level, quote and unquote, within our own level, ask us how many of us, when I say our own level or class, how many of us have our children in public schools? Practically, I can't remember.
Those who are in the middle class.
Yes, in the middle class.
That's if we have one.
That's if I have, we no longer have middle class. What we have is the upper class and just the lower class. No longer, the middle class have been totally eroded. So for this, you'll be surprised that some people are finding it difficult to be able to raise 5,000. Anyway, I've been doing, in the past 3 years, 4 years, I've been doing something. And that is looking for indigent people that I pay WAEC fee and JAMB fee for. On the average, every year, through my foundation, I pay at least this JAMB fee and WAEC fee of indigenous students, at least an average of about 50. You will be surprised. Let me tell you one. There's a lady. I never knew. I asked for them. I don't know them. Normally, I ask around and people started. There's a particular lady that I didn't know she was a widow. When I opened up this thing, and somebody called me and said, I have one woman that her children just finished secondary school. They cannot take JAMB. They are twins, a boy and a girl. And how much was JAMB? About 5,000 something a word. Yeah. Yes. And I said, really? I said, give me her number. I called the woman up. I said, oh, God, thank you very much. In fact, that yesterday that she just borrowed money, just the day before I called her, that she just borrowed money to be able to pay for the JAMB. I was so touched. I had to double what I had to give her, both for the two. And as God will have it, when the JAMB result of this student came out, excellent. They were so good. So what I'm saying is that at that level, as little as 5,000, a lot of people are finding it very, very difficult. So for the Kogi governor to have done it, whether he's doing it for politics or for whatever, I don't bloody care. Yeah. The fact is that he's doing it. But it is not Kogi only. Lagos State have been doing it for some time. I don't know whether they are still doing it. I know that for public schools in Lagos, there was a point that Lagos State government were paying the WAEC fee of students in the public school. This is what there were some of us enjoying free education. I am a beneficiary of the Jakonde free education. For 4 or 5 years, I never paid. My parents never paid. We are the people that are called Jakonde school children. I will tell you that during our period, we also have so many indigent. Our colleagues are so indigent that parents were not able, we wouldn't have been able to. Most of our colleagues are top, wherever they find themselves now. Those in the bank, those in the journalism, and the rest. Most of them would. Even our leaders, those that are enjoying the benefits they have, most of them, their parents couldn't pay their school fees. They enjoy the free education, all through. Why is it that they are not looking at that now? So I commend the Kogi State governor. I only hope that this will be sustained, not just for politics. Not that when he leaves tomorrow, in the next few months he will leave. I hope the person that is taking over from him will also be able to sustain it, so that so many lives will be, so that most of the insinuation that people are making now is that it's for political reasons can be eroded. If we can be able to put in some of this palliative, it was in this country that some people were telling us they were feeding our children during COVID with trillions and trillions of naira, even when the children were with us at home. Yes, trillions and trillions.
And we were the ones feeding them.
And we were the ones feeding them. They said they were feeding our children. Was that not? So I commend him. And just as I said, I hope that whoever is taking over from him will be able, whichever party, should be able to continue from.
Somebody close to me, he's actually started registration from the University of Lagos tomorrow, and I checked out the entire fee. For registration, for a fresher, chemical engineering department and everything. Everything's 170,000 naira. And I asked the question, why were they protesting? When I saw it, I was like,
what I've seen is that
it's over subsidized.
Because this person is the first timer. Yeah. So they subsequently going to come down. Maybe 80 or something. I was like, what?
Yes.
Because I've always been
to come down.
Someone who argues for fairness in the way we reason and speak. I don't see a reason why somebody who is studying law, even let's take it at the level of the arts, who is studying law, requiring so many books and tutorial, we say he wants to pay the same fees with somebody studying Yoruba or Bible knowledge. It's ridiculous. It's only in this country that will bring up all of this argument. Somebody who uses chemical that we don't even have in this country wants to be paying 50,000 naira a year for tuition. And you expect the same thing will go to law, will go to medicine, and all the rest. Even for the sake of the future of those children, we parents should even be scared sometimes to say, are you sure they are giving you any practical lesson? Because that is the essence of going to school, not for you to just sit inside the classroom and you are told if you mix A with B, it will bring this out. And you are not able in your own lab to do it. They only show you, this is the bottle for this. This is the bottle for this. And then you mix this with this. Then you go back to your hostel. I think I fear for the nation if we continue along that path. So increasing those fees to that level of, say, 170,000 for a school like Unilag, for a fresher.
Yeah, I have this, but I have it here.
For a fresher, it's quite good. What we should be looking at is producing good graduates, quality ones, and not just churning people out with certificates. And that is why also I say I support the student loan scheme. Students should not just go there, and which is what the system is going to curb. Because if all you need in a semester is 200 naira, and you go to this loan board to go and say you want 200,000 naira, nobody will give you because you are going to bring your paper to justify it. So nobody is saying to you, come and take a loan of 2 million, because some have not even allowed that process to start. They are already speaking of repayment that they won't be able to repay. As if the money being taken is going to be in billions. That's number one. Number two, those who don't pay this kind of money when they begin to work, they are just like people who go to these cash applications to take money. Most of them knew before setting out to take it that they weren't going to repay. That's what happens. Somebody goes on to take 30,000 naira and says, I'll pay back in 1 week. And you know that you don't have any means of paying back in 1 week. Then that is already fraud from the outset. And then in that 1 week, the man who gives you the loan says it is now 65,000 naira you are going to pay me. You already knew. So when you are going for the student loan, there is no hanky-panky in it. It's straightforward. And you are going to pay what you have taken.
You know? My feeling is that we shouldn't make education elitist. Every country in the world invests so much in education. Our investment, the supplementary budget we just had security having the highest votes. That shouldn't be. In a same country, such money should be put in education. Because there's no investment you put in education that will not thrive. If you understand what I'm trying to say, most countries invest so much in education because that is your future. You see a lot of things China is doing, India is doing, other countries. It is education because they are investing in their young people. And they try as much as possible to subsidize education as much. Because the person you think, the child of the rich man you're looking at, might not be the savior of Nigeria tomorrow. Most of the children of the poor have what it takes to excel, but they don't get the opportunity to. So I am of the school of thought that we should be looking at our education. Ask yourself, in the last 10 years, have we been able to meet UNESCO benchmark in terms of budget for education? The same thing with our health sector. So for me, investing so much in security is an aberration, but it's a peculiar situation we find ourselves. But we should be able to nip that in the bud and try to channel this money to other areas of development, especially education. I am a good canvasser for education. Teach a child. Send a child. Most often than not, when we were growing up, my father used to tell myself and my twin brother, he said, come, I don't have any house in Lagos. I don't have any land that I'm going to quit to you. But what I will do for both of you is to give you the best of education so that you can be able to live and be able to feed yourself. So it's just like not giving you fish, but teaching you how to fish that at any given point in time you can be able to. So I still believe that our education sector is totally mismanaged and we are not doing enough. And the government can still do more.
All right.